Hey everybody, Arthur here with another unboxing video. Today we have Marvel Legends Vintage Wolverine. This comes on that vintage card that everybody is so wanting to have for nostalgia reasons, and I just got them because I'm going to shred these bad boys open and display them. So as you can see, Wolverine's on this typical card. It does say iconic claws in multiple languages. You got the pretty cool little artwork of Wolverine right there, him in his bubble, and then as this rotates around, everybody from the wave, which I have I have those two. I probably need him for his fingers because I need those hands. Black Widow, I don't care. Cap, I don't care. So Iron Man will be next and might get a Punisher, maybe. But we do have a little bit of info right here on Wolverine. That same artwork. Let's go ahead and get Logan out of this nasty looking package. Wolverine out of the package looks just as good as all the last Wolverine we got, with a little bit of differences. But the main thing I want to look at, first off, he does come with some accessories. He does come with the head that we've seen before in the, I do believe it was the Toys R Us exclusive wave, whereas the Jubilee was the Build-A-Figure. So we got this unmasked Logan head, which looks great. It's got the little bit of shadowing for his scruffage, and the hair actually has some very faint blue dry brushing to it. So, I mean, this is a very nice head sculpt. And the reason I wanted this figure, because I'm going to be displaying this one with his mask off. And can't have a mask off Wolverine without his little cowl or hood piece. So this actually hangs on the back of his neck. We've seen this again with other Wolverines, and I think it originally started, with Dakin, if I'm not mistaken. So it's cool to have this piece as well. But let's get into the meat and potatoes of this figure, and that would be the actual full figure itself. And he's not bad. I mean, I have issues on mine, which I'm going to tell you guys about. His head is the same sculpt, though. I mean, it's basically the same figure we got in the Juggernaut wave, just painted differently. And the paint on these are not as clean as I would really have hoped. There's a little bit of a paint defect on the top of the head. The claws are just crazy loose, like as if the holes that the claws themselves go into are too big. So I'm going to have to probably nail polish it or just get those metal claws. But yeah, they just all flop around. He does have the typical butterfly joints, double jointed elbow, bicep swivel. His arm can get the full swing around because, you know, it's what he did last time. And yeah, I mean, those claws are they just bug me, how loose these things are. Just like, he does have the wrist bend, no alternate hands. So if you wanted him without the claws, you actually have to pop them off, and you know, the claws do pop out just like so. And as you can see, the holes pretty big, so I can see why these little things are having a hard time staying where they need to be positioned. His arms are painted. As you can see the brown underneath. Just sort of like, see that nice brown line. But one thing I do like, that they gave him some hairy arms. He's Wolverine, he's hairy. He's given some hairy arms. I really like that. But I don't like that the paint on this forearm on this one is just trashed. Like, that is not clean at all. You got the flesh tone splattered up here. It's just sloppy. Very, very sloppy. When you look at this one, they have it nice, clean. So it's like, what happened here, Hasbro? Please answer me that. What happened right here to where I couldn't have it like that. Disappointing as shit. And he has the awesome butterfly joints. He's in the darker brown, different orange, different belt color. I guess just, it's same figure again. You get the articulation. He doesn't really get to do the splits too far, but that's as far as that goes. His ab crunch is one of the most impressive ab crunches ever, because you can get that nice hunched over, ready to fight bub style Wolverine has. And I love his ab crunch. He does have a waist swivel as well. That nasty thigh cut that will, distort the sculpt. Double jointed knee. And, you gotta have that foot bend and pivot. And I got a weird mold defect right there where they popped it out of the mold. I got some extra black line of paint going across here. Not what I was expecting. Oh, and it does have the boot swivel. I am ridiculous. I like this boot swivel because it's hidden. You can really see it on this one. So, good job, Hasbro. Hiding boot swivels. But yeah, guys, I mean, this is, it's a good figure. If you don't have the Juggernaut one, definitely go for it. Again, the reason I did this one is because I wanted this. This will pop on, geez. That's a little snug fit, but yeah. So I can actually have a Wolverine with his cowl flipped back. So pretty stoked. Pretty stoked to have it like that. I am really liking it. And he's like an old man. He's like, oh, my claws, they fell out. But let me get that older Wolverine, and you guys can just see the color differences. There we have Logan and Logan, Bub and Bub. So you got the Juggernaut wave right here, the vintage wave here. You can really see the difference in the orange. This is like a brighter orange, brighter brown. The belts, they're similar. I feel that the Juggernaut one is painted better. That's just my opinion. Because look at the detail there. And we sort of lose that detail with this horribly painted buckle. And this is actually a brighter red as well. It's like they just brightened up all the plastics. The claws on the Juggernaut wave, it's a brighter silver, almost like a pearlescent. You get the darker with the vintage wave. And that's a really good comparison too of the browns side by side. And yeah, and then he doesn't have the hairy arms like the vintage one does. Let's go ahead and set him back up. Is he going to stand? Yes. All right. Now, then we're looking at the head sculpt right here, which pretty identical. They are identical. Paints are pretty same, are basically the same color. This one's just sloppily painted. But I mean, yeah, this is sorry, I was getting that reflection, making it super bright, but I was just sort of comparing the colors of the paint. The paint actually on the head are the exact same paints. Like, maybe the skin tone's a little bit off, but plastic-wise and the paint they used on this is identical. So, yeah. So as for which one I like more, I like them both. I like the hairiness on his arms. I like the color of his claws. I like the unmasked version with that little hood part. But if I had to choose one over the other, my Juggernaut Wolverine is my favorite. Like, I like the Juggernaut Wolverine over the vintage, hands down. And it does help that this one had better paint quality. This one, Hasbro just dropped it just messed it up. Yeah, they dropped the ball and totally could have gave me a Ultimate Wolverine. If they would have had cleaner and crisper paints and not sloppy. I don't understand where their quality control goes sometimes, and it's sad. A tear goes down my face. But I have both Wolverines, so I can't be that upset because I will have him like this and this one like this. So I'm happy. I got 2 Wolverines. So very grateful to have those. This is my review of the Vintage Wave. And earlier, I just want to clarify why I said this package was sort of shoddy. As you guys, if you're in the collecting community, some of you might realize if you've had toys before, you know how cardboard feels when you open it. And honestly, all this is like a piece of cardboard with a white adhesive strip. You can see the details. They just put 2 pieces of two like cards that were thin, and then just put a white piece of like double-sided tape that is the size of the card in between, and they just taped them together that way. I'm not a big fan of that at all. It just looks horrible. So like if you're hanging them up straight on, you're good. But other than that, like I'm not a fan of the quality they did with that card stock, especially when we're paying $20 a figure, and I would expect more. And especially I would expect at least equal paint quality, if not better, since this one comes with a little bit, well, he came with 2 less hands, but he came with the alternate head. So I can't complain about that, but at least, come on, equal paint quality. Come on, Hasbro. But again, guys, this is my review of the Vintage Wave Wolverine. Add a like if you like what you saw with that little thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. And have a great rest of your day. Good luck hunting and keep on collecting.